What's Y'all already know what time it is. It's like 8 a.m. on a Saturday. You know, your boy wake up early just so I can get in and do this with y'all. For the people that appreciate y'all right back. And for the haters, yeah, shout out to my haters, man. I appreciate that. Man, stop stealing content, man. Hey, listen, check this out. I only do videos about stuff that I like. So if I do a video about it, I like it apparently. You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me not to do what I like. You make no fucking sense, especially whenever you got 8 videos and you done quit making content. So now you want me to quit making content so I can be just like you. No, I'm being like me, motherfuckers. Yeah, motherfuckers. This ain't for kids. Hell, this grown people's Dragon Ball that we talking about. So if you ain't with it, get the fuck on. Hell, you know how we do. Hell, they be coming in the comment section saying that dumb shit. That's exactly why I don't even say shit to it. I'll be like, look at this goofy. Instead of making videos about stuff you like, you over here telling me about making videos about things I like. Shout out to the videos, man. We got everything about Gohan and Dragon Ball Z, which was supposed to be for his appearance in Dima that he didn't make. Yeah, they straight hid your boy Rizhan, and we're gonna show you why. Then we got a video from Unrelent Gaming as per the video title, because you know the legacy of the Omniverse, official top 5 strongest warriors in the universe, part 2, or aka a sequel. You know we like sequels around here because you know we keep the story going. It's the never-ending story of Dragon Ball in this house. Shouts out to that. And like the video title says, we're gonna get into Oozaru because you know we like talking about monkeys in this motherfucker, so we gonna talk about that shit too, right? Right. Hey, wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes. And I already got my blunt rolled up, so you know I'm all ready, 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 ready.
The story of Dragon Ball Daima was being prepared by the master Akira Toriyama, and while it is true that we were able to see the first part of his grand plans, the truth is that in the end there were several things that unfortunately could not be realized. And recently, with the release and arrival of the new Dragon Ball Daima DVD, it has been revealed that even Gohan would be a very important part of this story. And that is why in today's video we will talk about the things that came out in this new DVD, focusing mainly on Gohan's participation, since not only have we revealed the design that Akira Toriyama had created for this character in his mini form, but also that the powerful Gohan could have been crucial in the development of the great battles of this amazing saga. So if you are ready, this is revealed, the incredible role that Gohan had in Dragon Ball Daima. Warning, this video is based on official data from the manga and anime. However, the theories and deductions are of personal nature, so they should be taken with discretion. It turns out that after the Dragon Ball Daima series premieres, the DVD is always scheduled to be released a few months later. However, when a series DVD comes out, producers usually include a lot of extra content simply to encourage more sales, since if they simply offer us the same product, very few people will buy it.
The release
However,
2.0.
when they add extra material, sales increase, and in this case we have a lot of extra material that is quite interesting. So, within this new package we have a lot of interviews that talk about the production of Dragon Ball Daima and also how Master Akira Toriyama had a direct participation in all these events. And the truth is that we have a lot of interesting things that I will tell you about as the following videos progress. Within all this information we also have several unpublished designs and art, which would also reveal several interesting secrets about what Master Akira Toriyama had planned, an interview with the Kyoko that reveals more about the future of Dragon Ball. And as if that weren't enough, we have a ton of secrets about Super Saiyan 4, and we also have a pretty precise explanation of the scene in which Neva helps Goku to unleash his powers and reach Phase 4. In other words, we now have an explanation of how Super Saiyan 4 really works in Dragon Ball Z. However, this is quite interesting information that deserves to be analyzed in detail, so we'll do that in future videos. For now, I'd like to focus on one of the most striking elements, which...
See, what he just did was one of those tools you use. You drop some information and then tell them that it'll be in another video. So now they're going to come through and watch more videos, right? I mean, it's simple. It's easy to put into work. I mean, it's call to action. Hey, we're going to talk about how Super Saiyan 4 works a little bit, but it'll be fully explained in another video. You see what I'm saying? Stay tuned. Super Saturdays.
Just Gohan's participation in Dragon Ball Z to begin with. None other than the original design of Mini Gohan has been revealed, which would be destined to appear in the future of the story. It would be Akio himself
Yeah,
who
he looks
confirmed that
exactly
this
like
drawing had been
fucking
created by
Goku.
Akira Toriyama himself. However, Akio didn't know exactly when it would appear, and Master Akira Toriyama told her to simply keep it available, since it could be needed in the future of the story. This would be mentioned both in the brochure and in the director's commentary, and some translations also say that the idea originally came from Akuyoko. In any case, we can say that Gohan was indeed planned to have some participation in this work. Therefore, it is highly likely that Master Toriyama would have thought of including Gohan in a more advanced part of the battle within the Makai. However, this information would also reveal that, as I had said before, Master Toriyama helped until approximately episode number 13, which is why Akuyoko's team still did not know him 100% for the second part of the story. It is for this reason that Gohan ultimately did not appear in the final part of this saga either. As if this were not enough, we also have a drawing in which Gohan appears in his adult form, more specifically next to his father Son Goku. We can see, for example, that his suit has exactly the same color as our friend Goku's suit. However, the design is a little different. By this point in the story, Gohan was considered the most powerful warrior among the Z warriors, as he was considered the ultimate Gohan.
That's why they left his
As
ass
for
out,
Gohan's
man.
participation in the story of Dragon Ball Daima, everything
What
seems to
up, Blood
indicate that the
Dragon? Good to
most
see you. How
powerful
you
Z
doing?
warrior
Y'all know to
would
go check
travel
out the
directly to
big
the Makai
homie
realm,
daily.
trying to help his
Yeah,
father
because
and
he's
the other
got
warriors
content for
fulfill
you.
their mission.
Appreciate you stopping by.
During this first phase we would have a mini Gohan, who as we have already noticed, was quite similar to the rest of his teammates, with his battle power having diminished considerably. However, in this case the change would not have been so radical, since the powerful mystical energy he had inside his body would still be latent, giving him a level of strength far superior to that of his other teammates. The reason why Gohan does not appear in the first part of the story is simply because he was too powerful. However, in the final part they would have to face enemies that were too powerful, so Gohan would be required for the moment of combat.
Yep.
But why would Master Akira Toriyama have thought it was necessary to bring such...
I mean, with the way that Goma's Zenkai boost was working for him, because that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it Zenkai boost. It's Dragon Ball. If y'all don't know that they get Zenkai boost, the third eye was a Zenkai hack, okay? It restored your health and gave you an instant Zenkai. That's exactly what it did, because that's what the story called for. Hell, you fighting Saiyans. They get Zenkais. You going to need some too, right? Right, makes sense. Therefore, hell, Gohan, man, he should have been able to just one shot dude. Not just one shot Buddy, but you get what I'm saying. He'd have been able to put Buddy down. Yeah, it don't matter. Oh, you caught up to a Super Saiyan 3? Well, I'm beyond that. And I'm beyond it far enough to where I'm going to just shoot you right in the damn third eye type shit. Because, you know, special beam cannon. We're going to focus in on your eye and just delete the eye. Hell, that was another problem. They forgot that this guy's only stronger because he got the eye. Then they figured out, well, the only way you can get rid of it, no, that ain't the only way you can get rid of it. Because Piccolo should have thought about that. Well, I'm going to just sit back, aura form, let him see the fit, right? Hit him with a special beam cannon right through the third eye. If that don't get rid of it, I don't know what will. Because, hell, you see, they just easily stepped on the eye after that. Hey, it's all in the eye of the beholder, right?
And
It
move
sounded
on to
funny to
this
me,
part of
so
the
I
battle.
said it. Hell, leave the comments in the comments section.
Well, this would certainly be simply because a new enemy would appear, one who would be even more powerful than Goma himself. Let's remember that Goma put on the evil third eye and functioned, so to speak, as the final warrior of this saga. However, apparently Master Akira Toriyama would have thought of bringing an even more powerful character, since he usually does that with all his sagas. If we notice during the Majin Buu saga, first Fat Buu appeared, then Super Buu appeared, and then someone much more powerful appeared, which in this case would be Kitba.
Kid Boo.
And the same
That's why
happens
you
in the
don't
case
use
of the Cell
AI
saga,
voice.
when the first
You
enemies
can
will be
let
the ant.
AI write the story, but you as the content creator are supposed to sit here and at least go through and voice it. Hell, if you don't want to be seen on camera because your ass ain't did your hair, took a shower in 4 or 5 days, yeah, this is why you see me in all my videos, because you know, especially my shorts, because you actually get to see me. This is the person you want to talk shit about anyways. Whose video is this? It don't matter. Well, I think he stole it. You know I stole it because I'm over here doing a side by side, which lets you know that, hey, I took a video that let me remix it and I remixed it. You see what I'm saying? But hey, at least I'm on camera and talking whenever I'm talking about whatever I'm talking about. Now, as far as shorts go, that's why I don't talk, because it's a short. It's a cheat code to the system. Shorts were only put in to compete with TikTok. Well, guess what? They ain't really paying you for shorts. Well, I don't get paid for doing YouTube videos anyways. Hence why I don't put in too much work on them. Oh, I'll find a video I like, and then I'll record me watching it so you can see me watching shit that I like, versus using AI voices that can't even pronounce the names correctly in the content that they stole. Because guess what? If you making a video about Dragon Ball and you're not from the Dragon Ball Capsule Corp or Toei, whichever company's in charge at the moment, you see what I'm saying? You're stealing also. But you just use an AI voice and then they want to talk shit about me in my comments. But, you know, I appreciate that because I love the haters. Hell, the haters are going to be motivation for Super Saturday. When I'm going to get up early just to make sure my playlist is hitting, right? Yeah, the playlist is hidden. The president is black, my Lambo blue. And I'll be goddamn if my haters ain't gonna keep working for me too, okay? Hell, keep leaving your comments. Appreciate them.
Androids. But then we move on to a much more formidable enemy, the terrible android Cell. Therefore, we can say that Akira Toriyama's style is to bring more and more powerful enemies. Apparently this same thing would happen in Dragon Ball Daima. After King Goma, a much more formidable villain would appear, and to face him, even the most powerful Z warriors would be needed, including Son Gohan. But what would be the identity of this new villain? Well, certainly no one knows, not even Akio himself, since he mentions in these interviews that Akira Toriyama made the first part of the story quite clear to them, but he had not yet revealed what would happen about the second part, so Akioko's team was forced to end this adventure simply by defeating Goma. Personally, I think that the most powerful villains could have been Mayendu and Mayenu themselves, releasing their evil forms. They could even have merged or, in the worst case, received the third evil eye and become evil and a much greater threat. Certainly, Toriyama had put several pieces on the board here, and it was enough to put them together to have truly incredible results. At the climax of the battle, the Z Warriors would recover their adult forms, becoming...
I mean, given that technically he had did most of what he did before he died, Akira Toriyama, I mean, like the last 2 or 3 episodes is the only thing they were short on. basically. So that little twist that would have came at the end, which would have required that Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan fuse, because the fusion bugs from the demon world could put three people together. Well, they needed three people together, which would be the three strongest, which would be Gohan, Vegeta, and Goku. To fuse would have been like, yeah, whatever the fuck it is gonna get knocked the fuck out because these three done fuse type of shit. So, I mean, I get why they said the ending was weird because it was weird. I mean, it wasn't exactly how he would have wanted it to go. But like they said, they just ended it with Goma, knowing damn well Goma was supposed to get slapped in the head by somebody three times. They take his third eye, and now they the next big threat. You see what I'm saying? Which they were stronger than Goma anyways, which would have made it even more interesting. But it was interesting enough because Dragon Ball droughts are a bitch.
Much more powerful and therefore also recovering their powers. It is at this point that Ultimate Gohan would return to 100%, since he would also have his adult form, as we can see in this official image. And in fact, I think it was even possible that Gohan would receive some power-up or new transformation. In the most exceptional case, it would be possible that he would even receive Super Saiyan 4, which would have been something simply incredible and would have raised the hype of the spectators to the limit. Personally, I think that Akira Toriyama was preparing a truly amazing saga, and at least knowing these details gives us an idea of what the true story of Dragon Ball Daima would have been like. Let me know in the comments if you would like us to reconstruct, based on all the information we have, what Akira Toriyama's original plans for this amazing saga were like, because I think it would be quite interesting. If you like this video, give it a like, and I'll also leave you this other quite interesting video in which we talk about other scenes that would have been planned by Akira Toriyama, but unfortunately in the end were not carried out. Yeah.
We got Big Bro in the house. I'm gonna go check out Dallas, Texas, Guns and Cooking, aka Cooking with Love and More. What's up, bro? Good to see you. How you doing?
Goku just immediately has a way of bringing him back. And some of you say he's not a good father. Come on, bro. I don't want to hear it.
He did get some of that Senzu bean, though. Why would you give the bad guy Senzu bean?
Hey everyone, it's me, Goku. Don't forget to subscribe to Unrelent.
Oh, I CC on it. Always turns itself on. I keep that shit
Hey
off.
everyone, it's me, Goku. Don't forget to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming. Here you'll find the latest Dragon Ball news and content. Also, don't forget to like the video and follow Unreal on both Instagram and Twitter.
Kakarot! You, Kakarot, you will be the first to turn on notifications. And give this video a like right now, or else I'll destroy you.
You see, I like the way his lines are in 2D, but the picture's a 3D picture. So it's the hard black lines that make it a 2D drawing, but then whenever you actually look at it, it's 3D shading. So, I mean, it's good work. You have to get used to it because, you ain't used to it, but I mean, a whole movie like this, a whole show like this, wouldn't be too bad. I mean... And Broly's out of here. Somebody pack that boy up.
So, I think that it's safe to say that it's finally about time. So it's official. The story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel is going to be releasing on the channel in just about a few days that I've been working on for roughly around 2 years now, which not for nothing has been a very tedious and very grueling process to go through, especially when having to work alongside several other stories back to back to back. But through all of this on this video, I'm going to be providing you guys with additional information and what you can expect to look forward to in this upcoming sequel. But with that being said, I want to go ahead now and hereby show you all the first ever exclusive trailer to that very story that you guys can expect to find on the channel in just about a few days. So take a look.
I like how he spent this week just to build up some hype, because, hell, like he said, wrote a song about it. Like to hear, here it goes. Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it? So the story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel is going to be titled The Story of the Omniverse. As to one of the many reasons as to why that is because this story is going to basically bridge the gap in connecting all of the other various stories that I've been telling all throughout the years, which is ultimately, in a sense, going to be the culmination of everything that I've been telling through my past stories and having to merge into this story. And I think to kind of elaborate further as to what is to be expected, I'm going to go on ahead and hand this over on to Lee, so that way he can explain to you as to what is to be expected.
So the story of the legacy of the Omniverse will pick up immediately after the events of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse series, which will take place 1 full year after the initial battle involving Kuliza, Goku, and Vegeta, with our heroes emerging victorious. The story will not only delve into the paradoxes created by alternate timelines and histories, but it will also introduce a second tournament of power, where our heroes will have the opportunity to not only battle against the mightiest from across every universe, but they will also encounter versions of themselves who have made different choices and decisions throughout their journey that will lead to divergent paths and outcomes that our heroes will later be shown encountering. But what say you, Gohan? Would you have anything that you would like to add here?
So the story will act as a bridge in unifying various narrative threads from all of Unreal's previous stories, which will also include characters and events from past stories that will be woven into the fabric of this new and upcoming adventure. The The narrative will seamlessly connect each story, revealing how each event was a part of a grander scheme orchestrated by unseen forces within the Omniverse, as the interconnectedness will emphasize on the Omniverse's vast, complex nature, where every action has far-reaching consequences, especially once the second Tournament of Power begins. And to give you all a better example of this, characters will be exposed to alternate histories where familiar events unfolded differently. For instance, a reality where my dad had obtained a level far beyond Super Saiyan 4, or a reality where Vegeta had remained evil rather than change and become good. And while the legacy of the Omniverse will serve as a culmination story, it will also set the stage for many...
I mean, but was Vegeta really evil? He was just a warrior. You know, just having a job means you doing your job. Does that make you evil because you do your job? I mean, fuck nah. That just means you do your goddamn job. The boy was born to be a warrior. Hell, I'd go out and do my job. Does that make me evil? Nah. Because you see how he was when he figured out, well, damn, I'm listening to Frieza because he's my boss and I'm doing my job, which is warrior shit. But, hey, shouts out to Tiger, in the line. Which one was he? Tiger, Tiger. You never know. I'm gonna call his ass Lino because he looked like Lino to me. But hell, anyways, the Tiger dude, you know, he big as fuck, buff as hell too. Shit, shouts out to him. This dude just got that evil angel look to him for whatever good reason. But you know, when they first come back, that's why they eyes is black. They just got it temporary though, type shit. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked.
new beginnings and adventures to unfold as well.
Yes, and let's not forget about the enemies that your pathetic Saiyan mortals will be going up against here either. Because not only am I bound to partake within this omniversal event, but I also look forward in battling against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse myself. Because who's to really say that a villain isn't bound to be declared as the winner of the Tournament of Power 2 by the very end? For there are bound to be many of us who will be shown returning and battling for the #1 spot throughout this entire event. You should expect it because Goku and Vegeta, along with Udo and Akuma, Yoshida and Takira, aren't going to be the only heavy hitters that will participate in this tournament.
Well, he isn't really wrong when he says that there will be many returning enemies that our heroes will find themselves engaging against. But our heroes will also find themselves being taken down a very dark and twisted journey along the way that will be filled with many horrors, uncertainty, and chaos. For they will find themselves facing unimaginable challenges and be confronted by their deepest, darkest fears, many of which none of you will see coming as the story unfolds along the way.
So now there you ultimately have it. The Omni Kings alongside with the Grand Priest are going to essentially be the ones who are going to be responsible in having to bring all of these said warriors together for this upcoming Omniversal event, to which the Omni Kings are going to be the ones responsible in having to call for this event to begin with, and their newly upgraded god pads given to them by the Grand Priest are going to be the common denominator in what determines the match outcomes for this upcoming second Tournament of Power, which is also going to be one of the main driving forces moving forward in having to determine the overall match outcomes of who is going to battle against who for this upcoming Omniversal event. As with the way the Omni Kings are going to structure this upcoming Omniversal event, it's not going to be neither a free-for-all battle, nor is this going to be necessarily a traditional bracket-styled event, but instead this is rather going to be a mixture of the two, and having the Omni Kings determine either pre, during, or post-battle on whether or not they want to do something involving said characters or not, which additional information and details in regards to said circumstances will be made available and provided during each chapter as the days begin to roll on by. So not only could you expect to see the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, with that being Budo, Akuma, Takira, Yoshida, and the Grand Priest be involved in this, but at the same time, we are also going to see the return of the fallen resurrected gods of destruction, which happens to include that of Reno, Cobras, Gardox, Ferrix, Grizzlor, Primos, and of course Tigron and Ligor, on top of having to see
I thought it was Ligor. See, I got it right.
such as Dragon Ball GT.
Damn it, I might know too much about Dragon
and many
Ball.
other realms and timelines having to be shown converging
Call his
into this
ass
upcoming
motherfucking leader of the
story, as none of this
Thundercats.
truthfully would have been made into a reality if it were not through your backing and through your support. So I have to thank each and every single one of you guys for everything you've done for me, as I cannot wait to show you guys all of the work that we've been doing for the past 2 years behind the scenes, on top of many other things that I have lined up for you. So through that, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching, to which once more, if you also just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage for you all to head on over and smash that subscribe.
Now, for those who ain't been paying attention, because y'all just swiping through whatever random type people, appreciate the randomness. But yeah, I mean, I skipped the Mirno saga because I was doing videos when he was doing it, but I didn't like that series, so I didn't do it. But then I did stuff after that, and then I did the sequel because I actually liked the sequel's premise because it was a demon god, which I was hoping it was, well, he didn't have Dima out to compare it to, so he wrote what he wrote based on what he already had. So it was a good story, but with Dima now being out, we got to redo the demon world again because now that Toriyama gave us a more accurate representation of what's going to happen down there, you already know what needs to happen down there. So yeah, you got Majin Ku as the new demon god. All right, so he done had some time since that happened and Super happened, or you could just write that story from right there. Like, nah, we gonna pick up right here, and then as things are happening now in the demon world, we'll let you know what part of the timeline it fits in with the Super series type shit. Because like I said, it's like watching Saw. It's not like watching a regular series to where it's linear. No, this Kiryu Toriyama, he's a troll, so he's not gonna do nothing linear because that wouldn't make sense for him now. That's why he be having the flashbacks, the reboots, and we'll just go back in time and show you a story. Why would that be? So you can see how other things could be affected. But he's trolling you anyway, so it's just to have you talking about Dragon Ball. That's the whole point of the show, is to have you talking about the show. It ain't I like the show and I'm just gonna sit there and be cheesing and not say nothing. Nah, he gonna give you something to talk about. Okay, thumbs up.
And turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon so that way you guys can always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel. On top of making sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what we have coming up ahead. Because throughout all of this, what I will say is that you guys are going to be in for one hell of a ride. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys for your time, patience, and support. And with that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to
He
subscribe
said
to
Catman.
Unrelent for the latest Dragon Ball content. And
Trolling
while
the
you're at it,
curatorium
make
without
sure
picking
to
his
like the
cat.
video. Also,
You got one
don't
of
forget
those
to
type of
become a
cats? You got an
member of
ugly
Unrelent
ass cat
Gaming's
though.
Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and
Yeah,
much, much
fucking
more.
cats.
Do
Shout
it
out to
now,
Izzy
or
Pop
I'll
though, cause she a
destroy
cat
your
lady.
planet,
Yeah.
along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
I said girls don't like tacos. He tripping.
Stronger than he was even before, to the point where he could hold up Mount Sumeru on just one shoulder, which basically equaled out to holding up the infinite cosmic sky. Wukong was able to reach perfection on his journey, entering into the incomplete nirvana, which is boundless reality beyond everything, beyond all concepts and limitations. It's above the God realms and the formless realms, which those two realms were already above physicality and dimensions. So we're talking about like true outer-versal stuff here. And it doesn't stop there, because at the end of his journey, Sun Wukong was brought before the Buddha again. And this time, he transcended into the complete nirvana, which made him even more powerful.
Daddy.
Look at the power ball in the sky, Gohan.
But I don't understand. Dad, where are you?
I'm far away, but I need your help. You can help by staring up at that light in the sky. That's it, Gohan. Don't turn away from it. The boy's tail! I've got to stop him! It's too late! No! Stop changing!
Stop changing. Vegeta just be having some lines, boy.
He's transforming into the ape! Yes, Gohan. You can do it! Gohan, he's changing. That fake moon made him transform. The tail! I've got to cut off his tail before he goes completely berserk! Right now!
Overhead strike fucking hurt too, boy. Look at Vegeta. He's down. He got knocked the look out. And said, now Gohan's strong enough to actually fuck with you, Vegeta.
He's out of control. Gohan's just a mindless, raging beast now. It's just like when Goku used to change. Doesn't remember anything. As long as he's like that, he's just as dangerous as Vegeta. Gohan, stop it! Oh man, I just gotta think of some way to get through to him.
Hey, don't get him excited!
Vegeta over here on ski motherfucking daddle status. You should have ran, motherfucker. He's like, damn. Oh, now he back looking at me, huh?
I'm trapped.
Trapped. Vegeta, what the fuck was you doing? You was just standing there watching, like, shit. What the fuck am I supposed to do? You supposed to have been took out his tail. He just standing there looking like, yep, that's what the fuck we do. Here we go, Zaru like a motherfucker. Yeah, this is the best part of the video though, because look at Vegeta like, shit. You don't be mad at me because I didn't give you a good shot of Vegeta going on Zaru. Hopefully somebody else covered that because I didn't specify a video where I wanted to see Zaru Vegeta again. We know he already put in work with Zaru, although he didn't even need it to be Goku at that point. It's a good thing he couldn't sense ki because, hey, he's thinking he gotta go to Oozaru to go ahead and put this motherfucker Goku down. Because if he could sense his ki, he'd have known, oh, this motherfucker done shot Snake Eyes. Looking real crappy after this, right? Yeah. Of course, his dad steps in. I let you beat him up, nigga. Don't go too far. Hell, y'all supposed to throw hands, catch the fade. You faded him. Don't try to erase him. Starting to act like Nappa. I got a video coming up about that too. Why Vegeta actually killed Nappa, because most people don't realize Vegeta was in search of power, okay? He had just found out that, you know, if we go to Earth, we get Dragon Balls. So he was coming for power, not bodies. You see what I'm saying? He's like, I need to gain some things so I can actually get things that I actually want. You see what I'm saying? You got to take a couple lessons to get the things you actually want. He was coming because Goku was strong enough to be a problem. So he's like, well, shit, I'm going to let Nappa just come in and fade him real quick. Because, you know, hell, he a low-class warrior. Nappa is mid-class elite. Not super elite, but mid-class elite, because, you know, all Saiyans are elite. If they're showing up and doing battle, hell, that's some elite shit right there, right? Probably not. You know how y'all haters are, but let's go ahead and get to the Great Ape Transformation Explained, a.k.a. Oozaru. You know, we like to use the term because Great Ape, that just don't even sound right. It's not even an ape, it's a motherfucking giant fucking monkey. So hence the name Oozaru. It's a demon.
Welcome to a brand new series here on Geekdom 101 called the Geekdom 101 Transformation Guide, where we're going to look at every single transformation, well, almost every transformation in Dragon Ball, not just from the good guys, but also from the bad guys. And we're going to start here in this first edition of the Geekdom 101 Transformation Guide, discussing the first transformation we ever saw in Dragon Ball, and that is the Great Ape form, known in Japan as Oozaru. I thank you for watching and joining me on this awesome ride as we go through the transformations in Dragon Ball. We're going to begin the Geekdom 101 Transformation Guide by discussing the very first transformation that we saw from the main protagonist of Dragon Ball, Son Goku, all the way back in manga chapter 21 of Dragon Ball episode 12, and that is the Great Ape form, otherwise known as Oozaru. Now, for those who may not remember, the Great Ape form is a form that Saiyans, Saiyajin, transform into when they stare at the full moon, and it increases their strength tenfold. Now, you must understand that at the time when we first saw Goku become a Great Ape, Toriyama had not yet even thought up the idea of Goku being an alien or being a Saiyan or any of that stuff. That was stuff he came up with later on. The reason why Goku was able to become a Great Ape and the idea that he sort of implemented came from the legend of werewolves transforming at the full moon, but also
The inspiration behind Goku is Journey to the West main character Sun Wukong, the Great Monkey King. In fact, in early character models for Dragon Ball before the manga had begun, Toriyama had at one time even thought of making Goku an actual monkey, but instead what he did was he made him a humanoid character who would transform into a monkey. And this is way before he even came up with the idea for him to be an alien. That was, like I said, thought of later on. Now, an interesting factoid about the Great Ape form is that the Dragon Ball GT Perfect Files guidebooks state that the Saiyans were originally great apes who later learned how to control their humanoid form and attain sentient intelligence. Now, understand that when we discuss the GT Perfect Files or any of the Daizenshus or Chozenshus, the guidebooks, these are supplementary books that were made by the staff of Toei with some Toriyama input, but people have debated for years about how serious we must take these books, because there are tons of contradictions within these books that don't quite vibe with the series, and some of the extra information, although it may be helpful, is contradictory to what is said in the franchise, or Toriyama later on would change anyways. So, as I've always said, we can use the books, but they must be taken with a grain of salt. And it's always a good idea to cross-reference what's in the guidebooks with what's actually in the manga and the anime, so we can get an actual picture, a clear picture of what is going on. Now, if you want to learn more about where Toriyama got his inspiration from for the Great Ape form, I did a Dragon Ball in-depth video about the oozaru transformation in detail, so I suggest you check that video out, because it is a good companion piece to this video right here, because this video is going to be a much more simplified version of the form explanation versus that one, which is more of a look at the lore behind the form and the inspiration, King Kong and things of that nature. You know, I talk about a lot of in-depth stuff on that because it is, of course, Dragon Ball in-depth. So, as the series progressed, we saw Goku become a great ape various times, and we found out that when he gets his tail cut off, he would then revert back to human form. But in due time, his tail would grow back. The first time that we saw Goku become a great ape was, as I stated, Dragon Ball Episode 12, Manga Chapter 21, when Goku and the rest of the gang were trapped in Pilaf's castle. Goku took a look at the full moon and destroyed the entire castle, becoming the oozaru for the very first time in the series. And again, this is way before he would officially be revealed as an alien Saiyan. And apparently we found out later on that he did become a great ape even before this with his grandpa Gohan, and eventually accidentally killed him. And that's the fate of Grandpa Gohan. We don't find this out until much later. Now, Goku would once again become a great ape during the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai in the finals, as he faced off against Jackie Chun, which is Master Roshi in disguise. And Roshi did not elect to cut off Goku's tail. Instead, he destroyed the moon, which would later on be brought back by God, aka Kami, and Goku's tail would be removed permanently, so that way it would never grow back and would never cause Goku to tap into this power again, which many believed at the time was a detriment, because Raditz and other pure-blooded Saiyans would come in later and say that the tail is the secret power of a Saiyan. But when Goku becomes a great ape, and also Gohan, they become completely mindless and they lose control of who they are, and they'll attack anybody, including their own friends and family. Krillin even discusses at one time that he believes that when they get into this power, they regain that Saiyan savagery that they had in their blood. Now, other characters like Vegeta have been able to excessively train themselves so well that he was able to tap into the Great Ape form and be in complete control of himself, and he's not the only one. Other Saiyans that we see in the Bardock special and other, Dragon Ball material, who are pure trained on planet Vegeta, learned how to tap into this power. The first time that we saw somebody other than Goku turn into a great ape was in Manga Chapter 208, Dragon Ball Z Episode 8, when Gohan, being of course the son of Goku and Chi-Chi, having that Saiyan blood running through his body, once again, like his father, would become a great ape, and Piccolo destroyed the moon yet again when he realized that it was the cause of Gohan's mutation. Now, the first time that we saw the controlled version of this was Manga Chapter 233 of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z Episode 31, when Vegeta was able to create an artificial moon using the planet's oxygen to transform into a great ape because Piccolo had destroyed the moon. Now, what we found out later on as well is the scientific explanation of the great ape form. When Toriyama was writing Dragon Ball, everything was much more magical, mystical, and rooted in fantasy, whereas when Dragon Ball Z came around, we started to see the author sort of incorporate more of a science fiction element to the story, and thus we find out that Vegeta uses the Power Ball technique to create what's called Brutes waves or Bloods waves, and these are measured in these units called Zeno. And essentially what happens is when a Saiyan's eyes and skin absorb 17 million Zeno of moon reflected sunlight, the reaction occurs in their tails, which triggers their body, and thus the transformation begins, and the warrior in question becomes 10 times stronger. So it is a 10 times multiplier according to various sources. Now, another tidbit that appears to be a filler only, I guess, factoid is that some of the Saiyan space pods actually project holograms of the moons that were able to reflect enough artificial Bloods waves to where it would trigger the transformation as if there was a actual moon. That, of course, was in a filler episode of Dragon Ball Z, not in the manga, but it's still something that should be noted. The primary form of attack of a great ape is, of course, destruction, but the one technique that we see is the Saiyan great ape mouth blast, which is essentially a tribute to Godzilla's nuclear breath move that he's used throughout the years because Toriyama loves King Kong and Godzilla. So that's the power that we witness in the great ape form. Now, obviously, Dragon Ball Evolution completely changed this and created their own sort of version of Oozaru, which is not anything close to what the original manga was, except for the fact that Goku transforms. But I don't really want to
Evolution.
discuss
Is
that
that
here
what that
because
actually looks like?
most
I ain't never
Dragon
seen
Ball
the movie
fans really
because I already
despise
knew it
that
was
movie
whack.
and it changed things, and I want to
And
stick
if
to
that's
just
what they
anime and
CG
manga
was, they
official stuff. So
definitely
if you're
have
looking for me to go into
disappointed.
that form, I just
Yeah, the one
there's no
person here
point because you
left
know it's
looking at
wrong,
evolution.
right? Now,
Damn.
being a great ape is a very important part of a Saiyan's biology to the point where this transformation, this power, is referenced time and time again in Dragon Ball, even beyond its usefulness. If you pay close attention, you will notice that when Goku becomes a Super Saiyan, or when Gohan becomes Super Saiyan 2, or when Goku did Super Saiyan 3 in Dragon Ball Z, you can hear the roar of a great ape in the background if you listen to the clean Japanese audio. If you watch the dub, you can't really hear it, but in the Japanese audio, it's crystal clear that as they scream, you hear the Oozaru inside of them roaring. And this was also brought back in Dragon Ball Super when Goku did Ultra Instinct. You could sense the savagery inside of them. Naturally, in Dragon Ball GT, we saw the Golden Great Ape transformation, which was a total throwback to the original Oozaru form, but I will be discussing that in a future edition of the Geekdom 101 Transformation Guide. So look forward to that in the future. We'll talk about that later. But even now, with Dragon Ball Super Broly, we find out in that film, according to Paragus, that Broly was able to tap into the power of a great ape and attain that 10 times multiplier while still maintaining his humanoid form. And to me, that is once again the series doing a throwback to the original Saiyan heritage, but also a big chunk of that movie took place in the past when that was still a relevant transformation. At this point, the main characters all have god power, and it's just beyond anything that the great apes could even deal with. But it was the first transformation in Dragon Ball, and the first one, really the most appropriate one to kick off this series. One more thing before we leave here. I want to talk about Dragon Ball Super and Universe 6. We find out that Universe 6 Saiyans have evolved to where they don't have tails anymore. So presumably the Universe 6 Saiyans cannot transform into great apes. And it seems like the Universe 6 Saiyans didn't even know that you could even do this or even tap into this power. So we don't really know if they have a different way of transforming with Bloods waves or if there's a machine like in Dragon Ball GT, but it's interesting that the evolution of this race changes depending on what universe they're in and depending on the conditions of said universe. So it makes me really question that those GT Perfect files aren't exactly accurate when compared to what Kaba said, because it seems like they actually were not originally great apes and that they became it due to certain natural conditions that are probably never going to get explained because Toriyama leaves a lot of details out. So anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching the first edition of the Transformation Guide, and I'll see you in the next one.
And of course, y'all already know, if y'all want to do part 2 with the golden oozaru explanation, you see what I'm saying? Why is it doing that? That is not on my playlist. The history of evil Goku. Anyways, we'll get back to our playlist because now, see, you trying to take over. See, bro, trying to take over. You get him in a small play and he try to take over the rest of the show. Anyways. Yeah, hit pause to that because we're going back to this. But anyways, distracted me. What was we talking about? Yeah, the golden great ape Oozaru, because he did another video on that one. I probably already did it for those who actually know. But for the new people, because I expect I always have new people, that's why we go Super Saturday every week. Give more people opportunity to go ahead and get in the boat. Hell, but anyways, for the new people, like go, give me over, 20 likes, we'll go back and redo it. Yeah, I ain't got to say nothing else. Anyways, back to the video. Because we about out of here.
Vegeta, back off. He's mine. If you want to die, I'm not going to stop you. But you do realize you'll just be providing him with more energy, don't you?
Don't interfere, he says. Excellent.
He didn't know Piccolo was H-I-M. M. Henry Neutron. Henry Turner.
I calculated every contingency.
Either you aren't quite as powerful as we were led to believe, or perhaps we're stronger than your precious calculations accounted for. Hurry up and send this piece of junk to the scrapyard, unless you'd rather I interfere to annoy you. I was born as the embodiment of evil, purged from Ka. I'm not nearly as soft as Goku.
He said, I ain't Goku, Vegeta. I will catch bodies. I mean, Goku used to catch bodies, but that ain't what he just here for today.
How can he always be one step ahead of me? Like he's constantly reading my mind.
Yeah, that's baby Vegeta. One of our favorite Vegetas.
Oh, Hi, what's happened to Goku? He's getting thrown around like a rag doll out there. Is it possible that we pulled his tail out too far?
I doubt it. Maybe it takes a while to kick in.
Earth, she's so beautiful. Just the thought of me not being able to protect her makes me cringe. I have so many fond memories of home. I'll miss it so much. All of my family and friends. Those who have been at my side through the worst of times. I can't bear not being able to save them from baby. Please, give me the power I need to end this madness.
It's time to finish this once and for all.
We all know the one thing that GT did get right. Oh, DJ Tiny Renee, good to see you. How you doing? Y'all know to go check out the slaps tonight because she's going to be right back in the lab with the pen and the pad trying to get the damn label off. Because that's all we having, all right? We're going to put in the work and show you the work. Uh-oh, speaking of showing the work, look. Chest thumping. Arms heavy. His vomit on his socks. Mom's spaghetti. Oh shit! Make you go straight 8 Mile in this
Kai, come
bitch.
quickly. It's Goku. He's
It's what?
He ain't at y'all trap house though, right? Cause this is about to go down, like Young Jack said. Pan out so we get a good shot. Ain't nobody care that this kid Goku transforming again. Look at it. Hey, now you see the lightning though? Look, they had to pan out so you see what it looked like. Hey, baby over here wondering if he made the right decision. Yeah, exactly what you want to hear from baby though. That's that bullshit. What up, Tanya? You going cruising in the Mustang today? Y'all know she drive fast with the music loud. Cause that's how we like to keep it around here. Yeah. Let me get that one. Oop. It goes back to like I was saying about being warriors, right? Oh my god, this strong motherfucker popped up. Bitch, I'm a warrior, okay? It's my job to motherfucking battle. If a strong motherfucker comes and he's way stronger than me, well guess what? As a warrior, it's my job to adapt and evolve, okay? Shout out to the transformation, because that's the one thing I like about that teaching people. That's something that really can't be taught. That you have to always be willing to evolve to proceed, okay? Hey, if a motherfucker came in and knocked me out on Tuesday, guess what? Thursday, I better be ready to go right back and try again, motherfucker. Because guess what? I done evolved since the last time I faced you, right? So without the 10x, that was only about 4 to 10,000. 54. That's 5,400. I be doing myself some favors, don't I? Yeah, because that goes back in with my research for what. I can't say nothing about that. I got an NDA. Yeah, not discussing for everybody yet. Yeah, he only had a 10 power level, so a 100 power level of Zaru really ain't shit. It's just big. But given that most people on the planet right there ain't past 100. Now look at Rizhan, man. He was blasting too. Piccolo was like, oh shit. He finally did the math right. First time Piccolo had to face Gohan. Look at that, 13,000. Hold on. And this is pre-Saiyan arc. This is before Vegeta even came. So you got a Oozaru that's 13,000. Vegeta's at 18,000. And Piccolo was sitting at about whatever the fuck change he had, right? Right. See, yeah, I mean, 13,000. So if Vegeta would have faced that same Oozaru, Vegeta's gonna park his shit. But at the same damn time, he got stronger by the time Vegeta was there. So, yeah, that 10x multiplier is at beach. Sandy beach, but you know, it's still a beach. Let's see if they do the numbers right. He's already slightly injured. Then let's say making the flux wave drops you by 10%. Vegeta's still over 100,000 when he goes to Zaru. Major problem right there, right? What did I just say? I said, are they going to calculate the 10% drop for him making the ball? No, they didn't calculate that. See, they're not doing their job in this video. They're giving good numbers as far as trying to figure out what everybody's base power levels was, and then they just throw the 10-time multiplier. But at this point in this fight, you got to calculate, okay, he was already a little damaged, so he wasn't at 18,000 at that point no more. We'll give him a fair count and say he was still at 15. Then you take off the 10% for him having to make the flux wave ball, right? Like I said, he's still over 100,000, but they gave him the full 180. Yeah, shouts out to the full 180, because hell, that lets you know how strong Vegeta actually is. Yeah, Captain Ginyu, who the fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all must not see me around a full moon. It's a reason why Vegeta was only getting some bullshit missions, because it was missions he could clear by himself, first of all. That way he wouldn't get damaged and get too many Zenkai, so his power level was staying stagnant. Because that was the one thing about Frieza. He was stagnating Vegeta's development by just letting him only go conquer easy planets. Meaning, yeah, you're at 18,000. Most of the power levels on the planet are probably 200-300. Yeah, so even with a lot of them combined, they're still not gonna fuck with you. So he barely ever had to do too much to clear planets. That's because he was Vegeta. Nappa was struggling. Then he'd tell Nappa, "All right, chill out. I got this." And then he just one-shotting everybody. That was even without him being a Zaru, because that'll give you a boost over time, right? Let's see what they say about GT Goku's Oozaru. Where they gonna put you at? Now look at these calculations. That gave him an easy 60 trillion. You see what I'm saying? Because you know Goku, he came through and had to keep a trill. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Golden Great Ape. He said, "Hey, if I'm gonna be the first up-to-date Super Saiyan Oozaru, let me come in and keep it trill. 6 trillion right there for you." So that means when baby Vegeta goes Golden Great Ape, let's see what his numbers are. Because Goku was at 60 trillion in Great Ape form. And that's probably nerfed because, as y'all seen, you gotta add in damage before the multipliers can kick in. You see what I'm saying? So him transforming into a Zaru gave him a 10 times multiplier, but he was in his base form when he first transformed. But this is now him as Super Saiyan. So you gotta take out the Super Saiyan multiplier. Then you gotta take out, well, you add in the Zaru multiplier, but then you gotta, you know, y'all gotta do some basic math for the people that ain't mathing the math. Whoa, 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 whoa. See how high that went that fast? 360 trillion. That's why I said, he said, well, okay, okay, you want to pull out a Zaru? You want to pull out a Zaru on me, mother level? No, sorry, Bob, I'm not having it. He said power level 360 trillion. So when you just went Super Saiyan Golden Azaru, you came out keeping it trill. You see what I'm saying? We gonna put a 360 on that. You see what I'm saying? We gonna add 3 to a 6 before, so that's a whole yicken. Shouts out to the 36 zips. That's a whole chicken. You know what I mean? You don't understand that. Then you don't understand. That's why I said let's pause that for the cause one time. Shouts out to what? Yeah, just massively insane. Like, so when Goku first went Super Saiyan, grade 8, he was doing his thing, 60 trillion. But that nigga said, I made your little 60 trillion look like nothing. Nothing. Beginner levels. That ain't even 10%, my guy. Now hold on. See, why they have to go take it back and put him at a whole level at 6 trillion when Goku was at 60? And this is supposed to be for the Shadow Dragon, so you know he was at least supposed to be the 60 that Goku was when he first did it, or something stronger, because you know Vegeta's always stronger than Goku. Base versus base. I don't want not. Now, when you throw in transformations and all that, Goku might be stronger. But as far as we know, without anything else, base versus base, intro of Saga, Vegeta is stronger. 18,000 is way higher than 8,000. Okay? He's got a 1 in front of that. 8. You see what I'm saying? So there's a 10 on top of your 8. So, whatever. Grade 8 Nappa would have been 4,000. King Vegeta is sitting at 100. Hold on. They just threw this in from games data, but it's grade 8 Gogeta. It's definitely a thing. Appearance in Dragon Ball Hero. His power level's 200,000. Shouts out to Dragon Ball Hero. See, they'll give you some of that stuff you want to actually see. Yeah, Gogeta Ozaru. You want to see a video about that? Y'all know what to do. Leave comments and likes. 50 trillion. Dragon Ball Heroes, that's a low level because that's below Goku. $30 quadrillion. Damn. 120 quadrillion. See those numbers, quintillion, I should say, quintillion. Hell, we high, but so are the numbers. And of course, I had to throw in a BBL Boma video.
Hey! Wow, what a surprise! How you doing?
How could you? You never call, and if we didn't come to visit you, we'd probably never see you again.
Hey, come on! You know that's not true. Didn't we just see each other not too long ago?
5 years, Goku. Every time we get together with everyone, you say you have to train.
Well, it's true.
What? Say it.
Well, it's just that you look middle-aged.
Shut your red mouth! I'll have you know that most people think I look good for my age. Excuse me for not being an alien monster that never changes.
We Saiyans evolved as a warrior race. We retain our youthfulness so we can fight longer.
I guess your race didn't evolve with enough brains to have good manners.
Good manners. I love how she put that. You're supposed to look as old as I am because I'm as old as you are. Nah, I look like a warrior, motherfucker. Shout out to that big homie. Appreciate this beat. It's like he almost made it for me. I mean, he definitely made it for himself, but he knew I was gonna fuck with it.
Place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there till the morning light. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden.